Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. In my fast cooking system, there's nothing more important than stir frying. And when it comes to stir frying, the wok plays an essential role. One of the most important things about wok is that how to season it to create a non-stick cook surface. So recently, a viewer asked me, how would you do that? So first of all, the question is that when are you going to add oil? You notice that I dropped some water in it, and the water do not form what we call little beads. Now, which means that the wok is not hot enough. Right now, the wok is hot enough because every time when I drop water in it, it forms this tiny little beads. The next is to add some cooking oil. Now, a different cooking oil have different properties, and the cooking oil that I use is canola oil. Now, I use canola oil partly out of convenience, as well as from economy. It is very cheap and it's available almost everywhere. And the canola oil that I add in this case is that I will let it to smoke gently for about 15 seconds before I add an egg. Now, frying an egg is probably the best way to demonstrate your wok is well seasoned or not. And the spot seasoning method is that you allow the oil to smoke for about 15 seconds, and this is when the wok is being seasoned. Now, you notice that some part of the wok there are some sticking, but other part of the wok seems to be working fine. Now, this happens, and this is the reason I want to demonstrate to you the variabilities. Actually, one of the best way also to practice how to season a wok, use the method that I showed you earlier, is to cook an egg scrambled. What is an egg scrambled? An egg scrambled is a very simple stir-fry egg dish. Egg scrambled is best to cook in a wok because you can easily manipulate the ingredients in the wok. Now, the egg scrambler is really what I would call a cross between scrambled egg and egg omelette. As you can see in here, I kind of scramble the egg, but at the same time, I fold the egg over the ingredients. And in this case, the ingredients that I put in the wok is some edamame. Now, you notice that this dish will not work if the egg stick to the bottom surface of the wok. And in this case, nothing stick. And you can see that the bottom of the wok is completely clear. So this is absolutely one of the best way to demonstrate that the wok is seasoned. As you can see here, that it is not hard to use the spot seasoning method. And using this method, you can easily create a non-stick cook surface. And the measurement of a non-stick cook surface is frying eggs. Either frying eggs as a sunny side up, or in this case, frying eggs in the case of an egg scrambled. In the past, I was very reluctant to choose stainless steel wok as my day-to-day stir-frying wok, because stainless steel frequently viewed upon as some the cooking surface that is hard to season. The end result is that you end up get very variable result. However, once I developed my spot seasoning method, I find that most of the time, the stainless steel wok is seasoned extremely well. And because stainless steel do not retain the seasoning, and that's the reason that you need to season the wok each time before you cook. However, that's not always be the case. In this case, you notice that my wok is actually have evidence that I have cooked something else in it. Now, each time when you fry something, the oil will start to build on top of what is before, and this actually will enhance the seasoning. Now, in the case of carbon steel, cast iron, light cast iron, this building process will continue as long as you do not wash the wok with soap, or you do not cook things that has a lot of water in it, because boiling will remove that seasoning. Now, as in the case of stainless steel, each time when you wash it, even just rinse it with water, it will remove that seasoning on the surface. Now in this case, because I have fried some chicken earlier, and the frying actually have enhanced the seasoning on the surface of the stainless steel wok. Also in this case, I really do not need to re-season the wok. Now this caused confusion to many people because some people will assume that once you season the wok once, like in the case of a carbon steel, it will continue to build on it. But seasoning is a dynamic process, and that is something I want to point it out today by cooking different type of scrambled. Because seasoning is a process that depends on the type of food ingredients that you cook in it. In some cases, when you fry something, it will build the seasoning. But in other cases, it actually will remove the seasoning from the surface of the wok. So the end result is that this variability makes it very difficult sometimes to predict whether your wok is well seasoned or not. And this is the reason I developed the spot seasoning method, because each time before I cook a dish, particularly if it's the first cooking session of the evening, I will always spot season the wok, and also depend on the type of dishes that I cook. I usually start out with food ingredients that most likely to stick, like in this case, making an scrambled. You notice that because this wok is well seasoned, when I move the eggs around, you will notice that there is nothing stick to the bottom of the wok. And this is absolutely essential, because if you have food to stick, frying an egg is the last thing that you want to do because it will destroy the dish. And once the egg gets burned, it's just not going to be tasty at all. So as you can see in here, this scrambled is cooked with some frozen vegetables. Now you notice that because of the way how I have seasoned the wok, mainly at the bottom of the wok, some of the egg do stick to the side of the wok. But since there's not a lot of heat, it's easily to remove them. Now here's another example. In this case, it demonstrates that my wok is very hot, because when you add the egg to it, you see the egg start to bubble almost immediately. And the reason that this is such a good exercise to practice spot seasoning because different type of ingredients will react with the wok slightly differently. Some ingredients it do not stick at all. Like in this case, you notice that there's nothing even stick to the side of the wok, and it's because of the nature of the ingredients. So each time when you make a scrambled, you make substitutions of the food ingredients. And each time when you watch how the wok reacts, it gives you a sense of how the seasoning method, how the dynamic nature of the interaction between the seasoning of the wok, as well as the food ingredient that you are used to cook. I really enjoy using the stainless steel wok. And part of it is because I can clean my stainless steel wok. As you notice that all the dishes that I start out with the wok that is spotless, as in the case with carbon steel, cast iron, or like cast iron, the stain of the oil or other cooking ingredients will appear on the surface of the wok. And since you cannot scrub them, and that gives you limitation of what you can do. But however, with a stainless steel wok, you don't have to worry. You can scrub it as much as you would like. And the end result is that you can have a clean wok, a spotless wok every time when you start to stir fry. But if you know and understand the process of spot seasoning, you can create a non-stick surface so the food ingredient will not stick. As like in this case, the egg do not stick to the surface of wok in the case how I cook this scrambled. So my recommendation is that using this approach and to try to cook as many different scrambled you can think of. A scrambled is really a template. By varying the ingredients in this template, you can create many different variations. But it's also important to remember how different food ingredients might interact with the wok differently. And using this approach, you can practice and create as many different possible scrambleds as you can imagine. And the end result is that you can have a meal with a scrambled if something that you want quickly in less than a few minutes. And this is much better than if you would eat fast and ultra-processed food. And it will also provide you other variations that will make your meal more interesting. At the same time, you will practice how to do a spot seasoning to create a non-stick cook surface. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. The goal is that to make home cooking spontaneous, practical, intuitive for you, so you are able to cook anytime you would like. And if you would like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.